Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites. How you doing today? Thank you, Miss Lou Casely, for kicking off the contributions. Thank you. Barry Little said, "Good afternoon, all. Kendra, hope you're feeling better." A little bit. Just give me a moment. I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time typing and stuff today because I cut myself. Cut it pretty bad. It's been like an hour or two, and it hasn't stopped bleeding. So, anyways. I'm gonna ask one of my mods to put blackmenzone.com in the chat for me, please. The link, www.blackmenzone.com for me. Okay. Thank you so much. Super glue? I don't know about that. I ain't got no super glue. No, I got nail glue. I guess that ain't no worse or better. Yeah, the super glue. I don't know that. Miss Francois, this is men. Men will put super glue on a cut. We not gonna do that. Now, I don't take any blood thinners. I don't take anything. No medication at all. So I don't know why. I cut it pretty deeply though. So it's not just a flesh cut. I went right on into the fingertip. But anyway, thank you for your well wishes. Let's get into the finale. And I know Derek Jackson is, he doing his rebranding tour. Like, don't nobody know that's what that is. No, please God, don't say I need no stitches, because I don't wanna sit there while they put a needle. Oh. Mm-hmm. That scared me more than the cut. I ain't never had to have stitches before. I don't want to go to the doctor. But Miss Francois said she rebukes stitches. I do rebuke that stitch spirit, but I also need to be rebuking this bloody spirit, this little blood cuts spirit as well. Uh, might have to go get skin glue though. That I might have to do. Go get some skin glue. But in any case, we're going to cayenne pepper. Oh no, okay. Um so the last part of the series, the need to be right. And you wouldn't have thought that there was a psychological spin to that or a psychological definition of it, but it definitely is. So the need to be right, and I created this part of it, is where the justifications and the rationalizations are significant, because the hyena has to always be right, and she has to always be correct in her decisions. She's got to be right in the conversation. She's got to be right on her opinions. She's got to be right in her stances. She's got to be right everywhere. She's just got to be right. She can't be wrong. Her having justifications for things is designed to help her avoid the other three parts of it. Let me just get that out of the way. Her justification, the need to be right, her need to be right is designed for her to help her avoid the shame, the insult, and the guilt part. We're going to get into it because the need to be right is both a sword and a shield. Sign language is a sword and a shield for her. It's a sword when she needed to be. It's a shield when she needs it to be. Okay. Okay. So let me just read to you. All right. So there are some things that we need to take a look at real quick and understand. I'm gonna kind of skip a little bit of this. Okay. This first part until this last little paragraph that I think is quite important. Wanting to be right all the time can also be a form of misplaced intellectualism. The Greek philosopher Socrates defined intellectualism as the process through which one will do what is right or best just as soon as one truly understands what is right or best. In other words, when you know better, you do better. From this definition emerges the being wrong becomes a moral faux pas. However, there are many benefits to being proven wrong. That first sentence right there, y'all. That first sentence in that, the first sentence in that, spot on. Because they always think they smart. They always think they smarter than everybody.
Since you got your degree and you know every fucking thing.
They always smarter than everybody. They always smarter than the average bear. Let them tell it. Okay? All right? So let them tell it. They always smarter than the average bear. But they don't be. They be about goofy as a box of bottle tops. Okay? Just goofy. It's misplaced intellectualism. They're always trying to outsmart you, especially in conversations and arguments. Okay? So we're actually going to go back into it. The beauty of being proven wrong. Okay? The need to be right all the time is a form of a fixed mindset, which hampers personal growth. As Mark Manson puts it in his popular book about managing our fears and uncertainties, people who base their self-worth on being right about everything prevent themselves from learning from their mistakes. They lack the ability to take on new perspectives and empathize with others. They close themselves off to new and important information. It's far more helpful to assume that you are ignorant and don't know a whole lot. This keeps you unattached to superstitious or poorly informed beliefs and promotes a constant state of learning and growth. Listen, let me tell you. That is why shame, insult, guilt, and need to be right is a 4-piece combo meal, okay, that keeps everybody around them and themselves in a state of brokenness, in a state of lost, okay, in a lost state, in the lost. See, all of that language is important. Words have meanings. This is the sorcery that they trying to put on everybody in this society by changing the meanings and definitions of words to be something completely other than what they are. You really can't do it. Words have meaning. They have power behind them. So the hyena that engages in sign language has to be exempt from the psychological warfare she's waging on everybody else. She's got to dodge those bullets that she's shooting to everyone else. She got to dodge them. And the part about needing to be right is what actually helps her to dodge the bullets of shame, insult, and guilt. Because the psycho sign language is the weapon that is meant to be used against Black men, other Black women that she don't agree with or like, and all the Black children, male or female. Okay? Sign language is the psychological warfare that she's got to dodge. It's the weapon that is used consistently against all Black men, Black women she doesn't like, and all of her children. This is not for her to deal with. She don't set herself up to deal with sign language. That's for you. That's to keep you confused. That's to keep you consistently in a loop when it comes to her. That keeps you in a loop where you're trying to figure out, are you crazy? Well, is it something that you did? It keeps you from examining her and taking her to task about the stuff that she does without any safety net, without any ifs, ands, or buts, or, excuses about it. So her need to be right, this is her with all of her justifications and all of her rationalizations for everything that she do. Everything she do wrong got a justification to it. And you can see it when we are looking at these women who are on social media. No matter what a hyena do, there are always a group of hyena that has come along to justify it. They need to be right. Keke Palmer was wrong, but the sisterhood came to her defense. She needs to be right. In her wrongness, she need to be right. She can't be held accountable because she has to shame her baby daddy into not marrying her and being her husband, as if that mattered to a hyena whether they was married or not. He had to be insulted about what kind of money he didn't have, and she's got more money than him, and his net worth is not, you know what I'm saying, what hers is, and he worked for her in the company and all that kind of stuff. So he had to be insulted. He had to be made to feel guilty, as though he wasn't doing everything that a man was supposed to do in the relationship. We don't know what he was doing or not doing in that relationship. We don't know. And finally, she needed to be right about the decision she made about the clothes, about the decision she made of allowing Usher to sing to her and behaving and responding the way that she did, up to being in his little video, his little new video, which is so messy, into throwing shade publicly to her baby's father and all that kind of stuff. She needed to be right. There's always a justification. There's always a justification. Always a rationalization. Always. Okay. Thank you, Stellar. Said somebody check on Keke in 5 years. We know this movie. Exactly. Exactly. All right. This is probably going to be a shorter show because this is actually just the wrap up for the sign language series. Tomorrow, we're going to dissect Princella. Then after that, we're more than likely going to dissect Derek. So I got a lineup for you. Thank you, China. So the need to be right is reinforced confusion in regards to the lost value system. Exactly. Okay. Now, I'm going to go back to this article because they had some other things in there that we want to look at. Okay. Let's finish this because it's pretty short. Each time we are proven wrong is a chance to learn and grow. It's an opportunity to embrace the scientific discovery process, where the goal is to learn from our experiments through observation without holding on too tightly to our hypothesis. As Thomas Edison famously said, I have not failed 10,000 times. I have not failed once. I have succeeded in proving that those 10,000 ways will not work. Okay. So it's just a switch in perspective. And really, that's usually what it takes, a switch in perspective. We're going to come back to that. Because we don't know what we don't know, it's easy to fall into the Dunning-Kruger effect when we always need to be right. Holding on to our opinions gives us the illusion of knowledge. This meta-ignorance, or the ignorance of ignorance, arises because lack of expertise and knowledge often hides in the realm of the unknown unknowns, or is disguised by erroneous beliefs and background knowledge that only appear to be sufficient to conclude a right answer. Being proven wrong helps us break away from the negative cycle of unknown unknowns. Okay. One moment, please. Thank you for holding off for a second. Okay. So it was very key that this article talked about um just switching off the perspective. The true difference between the lost value system and the 10 life value system is perspective. Because when you take a look at them, they are the inverse. Lost value system is the inverse. It's the inverse of this. It's the difference between looking in one end of a kaleidoscope and the other. It's the difference between looking into one end of a telescope and the other end. If you look in the wrong end of a telescope, you're going to be mad. And you're going to be confused as to why you're not being shown things at great distance to you. Well, that's because you're looking in the wrong end of the telescope. And only a fool doesn't listen to, okay, well, just turn the telescope around. If you just switch your perspective, if you just switch how you're looking at things, all you have to do, switch how you're looking at things, and you'll see something different. You'll see something completely different. All you have to do is change your perspective. I had a client one time that I was coaching not too long ago, and they were worried about whether or not their relationship could sustain. And one of the things that I told them was a lot of relationships fail because the two individuals can't manage to just switch their perspective just a little bit, just stand a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left, and you'll see something different. That's it. All you got to do. The sword and shield dynamic of the sword and shield dynamic is critical for her to maintain the gynocracy, the lost value system, and her fragile position within it. She doesn't realize that her position is precarious at best. The sword and shield dynamic is critical to maintaining the gynocracy. Right now, it seems like I'm just saying real simple sentences, but I'm not. I'm actually giving the formula, the blueprint. I'm trying to get my audience to understand the lost value system and the 10 life value system from more than just words, but understand them practically. Understand them practically. Thank you, Gregory. So salute for another great series. I mentioned it to Dr. Thunder. Okay. Thank you so much. I'm actually trying to let us know how to get out. You want a 1, 2, 3. First, you got to understand how it's being maintained. We can discuss a concept, but we have to understand the concept from a practical standpoint so that we can do something about it and not just talk about it and not just have it in the back of our minds and not just have it in our heads and all of those sorts of things. We have to be able to practically remove ourselves from the lost value system and get into a positive way of thinking. Um, I know you probably did it, and I was supposed to pin it at the top of the chat, but I failed to do so. So could someone please repost the link? blackmenzone.com, please. Please and thank you. One moment. Okay. Thank you so much, Ruminant. All right. So after these messages, we'll be right back.
Hey, brothers, I want to tell you about a website called blackmenszone.com. Now, Black Men's Zone is a site that specifically targets black men. It's a place where black men talk about issues that solely affect them. Now, at Black Men's Zone, the topics will range from news to society, sports, technology, business, food and recipes. Some brothers got to cook too. Gaming, and some of your brothers like doing some of that. Health and fitness, got to get your workout on. Music, movies, and many other topics. Now, there's not many forums around these days for black men, and because black men have to create them. Now, this particular website is more of a forum based, something simple, not social media. You can write what you need to write, say what you need to say, get on, get off pretty quick. But if you're interested, brothers, to at least go there, and I want you to check it out, engage in the topics, go to blackmenszone.com, sign up for an account, and get engaged in the conversation.
All right. So you definitely want to click the link at the top of the chat, blackmenszone.com. Go ahead and become part of the conversation or create a conversation of your own. Black Men's Zone is a forum that is specifically for the men to be able to speak comfortably and candidly about a wide array of subjects, sort of like an online barbershop space. So definitely click the link once again, blackmenszone.com, and become part of the conversation. Okay. I'm going to say one thing, and then I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream because this is a rare moment where I can complete my thought in a half an hour. It is possible to have some of your values in a positive value system and some of your values in a lost value system. It's possible. It's possible to have one foot in and one foot out. Please understand that. It's possible to have one foot in and one foot out. It's up to us individually to figure that out in our own lives. Which of our values is still screwed up? And we have to ask ourselves the hard questions. Why do I think this way? Am I still in survival mode where everything is all right as long as I can scrape by and I don't have to do more? I don't have to be more. The things that I have always believed, how have they served me? Do they serve me positively? Is it indifferent? Negative? Which one? Have abiding by certain thoughts, beliefs, suppositions, opinions, have they been based in fact? Do I believe this because it's factual or it makes more sense? Or do I believe it because it make me feel good to believe it? The gynocracy stands. I'm going to say this, and I may ruffle some feathers. The gynocracy is standing not on the shoulders of white supremacy, but on the shoulders of Black men and women that help uphold it, because we don't say nothing. We turn blind eyes because it's so uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to confront your mama and your sister and your ratchet brother that go in and out of jail and prison. It's so uncomfortable to confront them. And you know the person is really uncomfortable to confront. Person in the mirror. It's uncomfortable to look in the mirror. I want everybody to start doing it. Know how you do affirmations in the mirror? Affirmations are good. I encourage you, if you do affirmations, to continue to do affirmations. But also get in that mirror and say all your faults to yourself. And I'm not asking you to do that so you can beat yourself up about them. But if you can't bring your mouth to form to say the BS you on, it's time to get off. If you can't form your mouth to tell yourself about all the BS you know you be on, I'm talking about even the stuff you won't admit to not another living soul. This is the foolishness that I engage in. And I know it's wrong. I know it's negative. I know I hinder myself. I know I've hindered other people with this foolishness and tomfoolery that I get up to. And it's this. Boom, 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 boom. Whatever it is. If you find it that you cannot say it to yourself, you probably need to stop doing it. Because I guarantee It's going to be hard to stand in that mirror and tell yourself, this is what you do, Crimson. This is what you do. This is the stuff that you do. These are parts of the mindset that you have. Now what you going to do about it? See, it's not about wallowing in it. It's not about wallowing in it. I'm not telling you to beat yourself up. I'm telling you to be honest. What do I always say is the only way out of the lost value system? It's only one way out. And what is that thing? Somebody put it in the chat for me. The truth. The truth. The reason I'm saying mirror is it's hard to lie when you look in yourself in the eyes. Just like it's hard to lie when you look at other people in the eyes. Hard to lie. You looking straight at yourself. Because you know you better than anybody else. You know what you revealed and what you conceal in your own heart. Look straight in that mirror. Crimson. Yeah, don't me. We gonna talk about it. When you can do that to yourself, you can do that to anybody. When you can stand and look yourself in the eyeball and say how you wrong and what you was wrong about and hold your own accountability. That's all I'm talking about, is hold yourself accountable. When you hold yourself accountable for the ways in which you have upheld the gynocracy in your life, whether it's been personal or on a wider scale or however it has been, I want you to, after you can confess it, forgive yourself, and then just change. Start changing. Folks is not going to like you. Folks is going to stay away from you. Folks is going to think you crazy, but that is all right. They did that to the prophet, peace be upon him. They did it to Jesus, peace be upon him. They did it to Moses, peace be upon him. They did, all the prophets went through the same thing. Ostracized. Folks don't like them, think they crazy. Right. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead. I know these last two have been sort of short. Tomorrow they won't be, because we're going to deal with the Queen Breaker in an interview. So tomorrow won't be short at all. That's actually going to be a banger. So you want to tune into that one. Once I post it, you want to click the notification so you can be notified. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.